Welcome to Math with Dr. D. Today, we're going to be doing some solving of proportions. First, let's review what a proportion is. It's an equation with an equal sign. The equal sign tells us that two ratios or fractions are equal. So, in this example, we see that x over 2 is equal to 5 over 30. In today's lesson, we'll be solving for x using several different strategies. Remember, proportions are super useful in real life, like when you're scaling a recipe or figuring out map distances. For example, if I know that a recipe calls for 2/3 a cup of flour, and I want to double it, that will equal 4/6. That is a proportionate relationship. So let's go ahead and talk about some steps for solving proportions when we have a variable like x. The first step is that we're going to simplify our ratios. Then we're going to cross multiply, divide, and check. When we simplify, it makes our problems easier. We're working with smaller numbers. And it's really important for us because when we get really big fractions, simplifying first can make the math easier and reduce the chances of errors. Next, we'll multiply. Multiply means that we're going to multiply diagonally across the equal sign, like this. These are called cross products. So when we multiply 2 times 9, we get 18. And when we multiply 3 times x, it's 3x. X is a variable. It represents an unknown number. And with proportion problems, we're solving for that unknown. So now that I have 18 equals 3x, our next step is to divide. We're going to divide by this coefficient 3 to see if we can figure out what x equals. I know that if I divide 3 by 3, it's going to cancel out that coefficient and I'll just be left with x. Don't worry, that 1 is still there. And let's do that to this side of the equation. I'm taking 1/3 of it also. 18 divided by 3 is 6. So now I know x equals 6. If I go ahead and plug that 6 in for x in my proportion, I can check. That's our last step. Notice that I can still look at my cross products. 6 times 3, which is 18, and 2 times 9 is also 18. You also may have noticed that if I multiplied across, 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 3 is 9. We're still left with a proportional relationship. All right, let's try again. We're going to reduce. Yes, 6 and 4 are both divisible by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Then we're going to cross multiply. 3 times 12, 36, and 2 times x equals 2x. And finally, dividing by 2. 2 divided by 2 leaves me with 1, or just x, and 36 divided by 2, or half of 36, 18. So x equals 18. Awesome. Go ahead and check. And we'll see that when I plug that 18 back in to my proportion, I can see that 6 times 3 is 18, and 4 times 3 is 12. It might be efficient to even think about what numbers multiplied across can be used to solve for x. All right, are you seeing a pattern here? Yeah, 3 times 3 is 9. So 6 times 3 is 18. If we're not sure, we can still do our process. Simplify, cross multiply. 3 times x, 3x. 6 times 9, 54. And dividing by 3 on both sides, x equals 18. Awesome. Trying again. 4 times what is 12? Times 3. So 5 times 3 is 15. All right. See how fun this can be? We can still go ahead and cross multiply. 4 times x is 4x, and 5 times 12 is 60. Dividing by 4, 4 can go into 16 15 times. So x does equal 15. Simplify 8 over 12, dividing them both by the GCF, which is 4. 8 divided by 4, 2. 12 divided by 4, 3. Let's go ahead and cross multiply. 3 times x is 3x. And 4 times 2 is 8. Now, I know this answer has to be a fraction because there isn't a common number. So let's go ahead and divide both sides of our equation by 3. 3 divided by 3, cancel that out, leave me with 1 or x. And 8 over 3, 3 can go into 8 twice. 3 times 2 is 6. And I have 2 left over out of 3. I could have done the long division and divided 3 into 8, which also is 6, a difference of 2. Add my decimal and 0, and I would see that I'm going to get 18 with 2 repeating, 2.6. 6 is repeating, and that's the same as 2 2/3. Awesome. Again, our next one, simplify. We can divide 2 and 8 by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Cross multiply. 4 times 0.5. In other words, what's 4 times 1/2? Well, that's 2. And then I have x times 1. So, in this equation, x equals 2. Let's go ahead and check. Now that I know x equals 2, 2 times 4 is 8, and 1/2 times 4 is 2. All right, now we have some really hard problems. But remember, you can do hard things, and math is all about stretching yourself. Again, the first step is to simplify, dividing both 12 and 3 by the greatest common factor, which is 3. 3 divided by 3, 1. 12 divided by 3, 4. Now I have this algebraic problem, which is 4 times x minus 1 equals 16. Let's go ahead and use the distributive property, multiplying everything inside the parentheses by the number outside, which is 4. 4 times x, 4x, and 4 times -1 is -4. And I'm left with 16. Our next step in this equation is to continue to try to find out what x equals. But I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this -4 here. I know that -4 plus 4 will get me to 0. So let's add 4 to the other side of the equation. We always want to keep our equation balanced. -4 plus 4, 0, and I'm left with 4x. 16 plus 4, you got it, 20. And we continue to just divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 is x, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. We have x equals 5. Let's see if this actually works. Okay, so x equals 5. 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 times what is 16? Times 4. 3 times 4 is also 12. Woohoo, we did it. Awesome. Our last problem, again, cross multiply since we can't simplify. 5x. All right. And then we have 3 times x plus 10. Using our distributive property, we're distributing 3 groups of x plus 10. So 3 times x is 3x. And 3 times positive 10 is 30. And I still have 5x over here. So now I have 5x equals 3x plus 30. Let's go ahead and combine those x's so we can solve for them. Let's get rid of negative 3x by doing a negative 3x on both sides of my equation. Now that's going to cancel. And I have 5x minus 3x is 2x equals 30. Dividing by 2. You got it. That will cancel out. And x equals 30 divided by 2, which is 15. Wow, that was a lot of work, but a lot of fun. Let's go see if that actually works. Plugging in x equals 15. All right. Okay. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 plus 10 is 25, yeah? And 5 times 5 is 25. So yes, this is a proportional relationship. Wow. Hope you had fun doing some math with Dr. D. A+. See you next time.